Hi everyone, my name is Borke, and today I'll be presenting the research titled Towards Understanding Privacy and Trust in Online Reporting of Sexual Assault. I worked on this research together with Lucrezia from Vesta and also Konstantin from the University of British Columbia. So I'm going to jump right in. Why is this research important? Sexual assault, which is also referred to as rape, is the most underreported crime globally. Statistics shows that sexual assault happens to a very large percentage of the population. For example, for every 3 Canadian women, at least one has experienced rape. Furthermore, for every 5 American women, at least one has been sexually assaulted. The males are also not left behind. For every 14 male, at least one has either undergone completed or attempted rape in their adult life. Sexual assault, as I said before, is the world's most underreported crime, whereby 95% of sexual assault incidents are never reported. And of every 1,000 perpetrators, only 5 ever get arrested. Sexual assault also, unlike every other crime, has long-term effects. For example, if your car is stolen, you may feel sad for a while and then maybe get over it. For sexual assault, most survivors undergo long-term effects such as post-traumatic stress disorder, substance abuse, depression, suicidal thoughts, and even in some cases, suicide. So what exactly is the problem? Why do people not report sexual assault? Why does it happen to a lot of people, and yet it is underreported even though it has long-term effects? Research has shown that due to the cumbersome reporting process and the grueling interview procedure that survivors have to go through with the police, and also because even after going through this process, survivors fear that the police would not believe them. As such, most survivors would rather not report the crime. In order to solve this problem, third-party reporting systems have been introduced. Essentially, third party is when somebody else anonymously reports the sexual assault on behalf of the survivor. What we are talking about is a systematic reporting protocol where a community agency, like a sexual assault center, acts as an intermediary. So currently how this works is, if a survivor wants to use a third-party reporting system, the survivor can walk into a sexual assault center that supports third-party reporting system. At the center, the survivor is invited to complete a third-party reporting form. When the survivor fills the form, the survivor hands the form over to a support worker who anonymizes the form and then submits it to the police. Now, through this process, the survivor does not have to undergo the grueling interview procedure with the police, but there is a record for the survivor's behalf that at least that sexual assault incident happened. The goal of third-party reporting system also is that it leads the survivor to have more control over their reporting process. If the police have further questions, or if they identify a pattern or a serial offender, the police can then contact the center, who then contacts the survivor to ask for more clarification question or to invite them to make a formal police report. Research shows that when this happens, when survivors are invited to make a formal police report, they are more likely to do so because they know that they will be believed. However, all of this process right now is done on paper, and so therefore there are restrictions on this. For example, the survivor has to locate a center that supports third-party reporting system, and this is only available in select jurisdictions. And so ultimately, it almost defeats the purpose of increasing reporting. The idea of an online third-party reporting system is that it can be accessed by more survivors who do not want to or cannot walk into a center. The way an online third-party reporting system works is that rather than the survivor walking into the center, the survivor, at their own convenience, can download an online third-party reporting system as an app on their phone or visit it through a website. Now, this online third-party reporting system anonymizes the report when they are done filling it out and submits it to the police. For an online system to hold sensitive information, some questions need to be answered. To that end, our research questions are: what are survivors' privacy and security concerns regarding trusting online third-party reporting systems? We also sought to address what could help participants trust online third-party reporting systems. To address our research questions, we recruited participants through word of mouth, through recruitment notices at sexual assault centers, and through snowball sampling. We recruited survivors and support workers. We define support workers as anyone that provides some form of support to survivors. And this could include counselors, nurses, police officers. And we also gave our participants the option of either an interview or a focus group. We wanted participants to feel completely comfortable and use whatever option they wanted to participate in the study. We recruited a total of 35 participants. We stopped recruiting people when we realized that we had reached saturation. So we go to our findings. Our findings can broadly be divided into two: technological concerns with regard to trusting online third-party reporting systems. We define technological concerns as issues that participants had with the use of technology. We also found emotional concerns with trusting and using an O-TPRS system. We define emotional concerns as psychological issues that participants found with using and trusting an O-TPRS system. We also discovered that some technological concerns led to emotional concerns and vice versa, and we'll discuss some of them in this presentation. For example, we found the technological concern of the insecurity of technology. For example, P8, who is also a survivor, said she has zero confidence in online because she doesn't know an online system as a hacker would. This concern led to the emotional concern of re-victimization of the survivor. For example, P16, who is a survivor, said, servers get hacked all the time, and your sexual assault information that is online could get into the wrong hand, and this could lead to a re-victimization of the survivor. We also had the technological concern of the traceability of online reporting. For P16, she said that even if you download and delete an app, or even if you installed and uninstalled an app, there will always be trails, and that can be traced back to you. This is contrary to a paper-based third-party reporting system, whereby the survivor just has to locate a center and walk into the center, and there's no necessarily any trails that that action was ever done. This technological concern led to the emotional concern of the fear that perpetrators could see the O-TPRS system. For example, P22, who is a support worker and who knows the person that sexually assaulted her and also saw the person regularly, said that she was worried that there could be some kind of revenge if the person ever found out that she was using an O-TPRS system. There was also the possibility of false reporting. For example, P1, who is also a police officer, felt that people could joke around or even as a prank, submit multiple reports online, and all of these reports would be recorded in the police data bank. Furthermore, there was the emotional concern of the lack of human support. P26, who was a support worker, said that for her, it may be hard for the system, since there is no human in the loop, there is no way of determining if the person reporting is in the right mental state to make that report. This concern could lead to another emotional concern of re-victimization of the survivor, whereby the survivor is documenting their emotions rather than the incident. And whatever the survivor uses on that app or puts in that app could be used against the survivor in the court of law. We invite you to please visit the paper in order to see more of the findings. We jump now into the implications of our findings. In order for survivors and police to trust and use the O-TPRS system, we realized that we need to balance the needs of both stakeholders. In order to understand these needs better, we define privacy as knowing the identity of a person, but not knowing their actions. We define anonymity as knowing a person's actions, but not knowing their identity. Survivors wanted complete privacy and anonymity when making use of an online third-party reporting system. The police, on the other hand, wanted no privacy and no anonymity. There is therefore a tension between the survivors and the police, whereby the survivors want complete anonymity and privacy, and the police wants none. In order for these two major stakeholders to use and to trust an O-TPRS system, there has to be a balance in these needs. We do not discuss design recommendations because we realize that multiple stakeholders need to be satisfied for an O-TPRS system to be trusted. However, we discuss challenges. And some other challenges that we discovered was, there were challenges that need to be addressed before sending the O-TPRS form to the police. For example, survivors had to trust that no unauthorized person will ever know that a survivor is using or has ever used an O-TPRS system. One implication of this challenge, for example, is an O-TPRS system has to be designed in such a way that it is not obvious. But then survivors could be filling out an O-TPRS form and forget to close the form, and so therefore that system becomes obvious. Another challenge could be that since phones automatically save history, then there could always be a trail that can be traced back to the survivor, that the survivor has used an O-TPRS system. There are also challenges that still need to be addressed after the survivor sends the O-TPRS form to the police. Even after the form has been sent, the system still needs to protect survivors' privacy and anonymity. Furthermore, the police need to trust the O-TPRS report. The police need to know that this report came from survivors and not somebody trying to play a prank or someone trying to joke around. And so therefore, the use of O-TPRS system could lead to an increase in false reporting. There's also the problem of lack of human support, whereby survivors, there's no one there to be able to know or to be able to find out if survivors are in the right mental state to make that report. The key takeaways of our findings are, O-TPRS system can help increase the reporting of sexual assault. However, privacy, anonymity, and security concerns need to be addressed in order for survivors and police to trust and to use O-TPRS system. The ultimate goal of our research is that HCI innovative tools can be designed with all of this in mind to be able to provide a way for survivors to get healing and justice. We really hope that this research could start a form of discourse in the research community on how this can be achieved. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation.